The organization of the front-running music festival Afro Nation have confirmed that for the very first time, the music festival will be coming to Lagos since its inception in 2019. The critically acclaimed traveling festival, which has made birth in Portugal, Mexico, United States of America, Puerto Rico, and recently Ghana, will be hosted in Nigeria, the home of Afrobeats, later this year. Entertainment News and Channels Television caught up with the co-founder Adesegun Adeosun Jr. in Lagos. He jumped on our spotlight segment. Take a look.
Perhaps one of the biggest announcements for Afrobeats within the global music soundscape is the successful Afro Nation concert in Portugal in 2019. While the UK, with its huge Nigerian and African population, had already fallen in love with the heavy percussion-dominated dance genre, the Afro Nation Festival of 2019 dared to lead a 4-day musical jamboree with artists within the Afrobeats genre.
Are you gonna dance if I show you my money? Are you gonna dance if I show you the way?
Don't forget, the music genre has been locked out for a long time. So coming to Portugal, in Europe for that matter, to showcase the beauty of our culture, of our stars, of our music, of our food, of our fashion, it was just perfect, to be on that beach. And there's also a little history around Portugal and that beach, coming from the Gold Coast of Ghana. This is ancestral, to the beach on that 40-mile beach is very, very historical. It's very ancestral, and we just felt it. And I'm sure our ancestors will be smiling down and happy to see what we are doing today.
Co-founder Adesegun Adeosun, popularly known as Smade, and the man that books all the artists, Joshua Koram, simply known as Josh, are excited to be in Lagos, southwest Nigeria, the home of the music genre whose culture they have been propagating across the world. From Portugal to Ghana, Puerto Rico to Miami in the United States, Afro Nation has pushed the envelope for African pop culture in its about 5 years of operations.
That's amazing. That shows, that's good news for the Caribbean. And the band gave an amazing sunset performance. Me personally, my involvement in the industry and in the culture is from the first Wizkid show from a club of 300 people, from the first Davido show from a club to the concerts, to the tours, taking them around. I've literally put my life on this, doing this for almost 2 decades. It's exciting to see that we're here and it's looking good and it can only get better. Working with a great team and everybody that is part of this, even yourself, with creatives, everybody is really feeling involved, not just to support. They're feeling like this is us. And truly, this is us. Africa is now. Together we move, and Afrobeats to the world.
Every artist wants to be involved. So there's always a conversation where you're at this level and we believe in 1-2 years you can get to a headliner level. And obviously now Afro Nation is so huge, it's now a global brand. It's a global thing. It's Afrobeats will always be the core, but it's bigger than that. We're trying to bring in everyone in. So that's where we would book like a Chris Brown for it. That's where we would look at like a Megan Thee Stallion also for it. So it's touching all elements and everyone is like willing to be involved. That's what's great about it.
The Afro Nation is fueled not just by his love for music, but also his strong will and determination to uphold the African culture as high as he could. He was born in Nigeria, where he lived the early part of his life until he moved to the United Kingdom as a young adult.
Narrative then, back in the days, it wasn't cool to be African. I just wanted to change that narrative, my own way and just work towards it. I went to uni, studied events, did my marketing courses and advertising. I literally wanted to see where we are right now, and I'm glad we are here. But to answer your question, it's time.
How did you know?
Because of where we are right now, because of the buzz, the rise in the culture, because our artists are ready. We can present up to about 10-20 artists that are ready and uphill the stage. We have, if not the best artists on stage in terms of performance in the world right now, you know, in Burna Boy and in the likes of Wizkid, you know, Davido, even the younger ones, Rema.
Yeah.
Rema is doing amazing on stage. You know, we have Ruga. These guys are touring all over the world, and there's more demand as they tour.
Wizkid, Davido and Burna Boy have gone ahead to record many feats within the global music space, with Wizzy and the self-professed African giant getting a top Grammy prize to show for it. Rema, Thames and a few more Nigerian acts are also making impressive representation of themselves, the genre and the culture at large abroad.
When you think about what Rema's doing, everyone in India singing Calm Down, what CK's done with Love and Tweety, what Wizkid has done with Essence, these are global smashes. So Afrobeats is on everyone's tongue. Everyone wants to be a part of the culture. Everyone wants to experience the culture. So sometimes people don't realize like the greatness and the things that we're doing. It really is something to like behold. Do you know what I mean? And also to be proud of as well.
Back home in Nigeria, save for a few private parties and end-of-year events here and there, these artists rarely get the opportunity to tour. Smade and his partners, however, believe the time to bring the musical jamboree to Nigeria is now, and all hands must be on deck to make it happen.
I think now is time for, you know, the big stakeholders in the country, you know, to take the industry seriously, more seriously. And I feel like if there's more investors around, you know, the entertainment industry, you know, how are we navigating getting the young stars, the young superstars from a very young level? I'm talking about having academies, having more studios like Ogidi Studios, where we are in right now. Shout out to all the team in Ogidi Studios. They've given their studios for us to be able to run all the things we need to use this as an office space. This is the kind of partnerships we're looking at. So everybody has a responsibility here. You know, the same way some of us have been working really hard for a long time, it's not too late to join the train.
So I remember when I came to Nigeria in 2018 at the time, I was talking with Ogi as well, and we're talking about what's the blueprint and the foundation for these artists to do 1,000 capacity, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, and then move to the festival kind of like platform. There isn't anything there. So that's where obviously the local government need to obviously work hand in hand, create these kind of like platforms and avenues, and then we can obviously see the trajectory for these artists to be like, okay, this artist is worth this amount, this artist can do that. You know what, this artist can be on our stage as well.
As he walked through the now famous walls of Faces of Nigerian Music in the Ogidi studio in Lagos, he remembers his early musical influences.
See this man here?
Say.
On my 10th birthday, my dad bought me 2 birthday gifts. One of Michael Jackson and one of King Sunny. So this man right here is still at his top form on stage.
Yes, sir.
As old as he is. So that inspires me. That tells me when I'm 70, when I'm close to 80, I can still deliver. So age is nothing but number. I've been watching these guys since I was 10, I'm 38 now.
He co-founded Afro Nation alongside his friend Obiasika.